Currently at Cobbie Hill. We're near downtown Brooklyn, New York. We're in Cobbie Hill right. I'm in Cobbie Hill right now, and what's happening here is so your Cassapeto break is right there. Is today is the 23rd of March, and what's happening now is we put this over that right here we have the vigil, the memorial vigil for the people that lost their lives in the nursing homes during COVID-19 under Cuomo's tenure as the governor of New York State. So I want to make this disclaimer because I think if people hear, they might come at me that this is my disclaimer that look, and this is my disclaimer right now for this video for you people that I support Andrew Cuomo. I want to be mayor of New York City, while at the same time that I'm in my personal capacity. I'm not here representing Andrew Cuomo's campaign. I'm not here representing nothing, no PAC, nothing like that. I'm here representing me. So if anything happen, it all falls on me. But as you know about when people die, I care about when people lose their lives to anything. Lose their lives to anything. Let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. When they lose their lives to anything, I really care. So yeah, that's one voice for seniors. And the funny thing is that they blocked me on Instagram. They blocked me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter because I supported Andrew Cuomo. But I support him. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be mayor. There's nothing that can be done. And that's to keep it 100% here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be an asshole, but there's nothing that can be done. This guy will never be mayor. Let's make that clear. He will never be mayor. He'll never be mayor. Let's make that clear. He will never be mayor. But the truth of the matter of fact is that, look, I support Andrew Cuomo. I want to be the mayor. He's going to win. There's nothing that this little guy in Barrett can do about it. You know what I mean? Let's keep that 100%. So Curtis Wheeler's here. So that's the truth. It's nothing that this guy in Barrett could do about it. He's not going to be mayor. Like, Andrew's going to win this because of the machine had all 5 counting machines had decided that Andrew's gonna be mayor, and that's the truth. He's gonna be mayor of New York City, and there's nothing that this fucking guy in the beret can do about it. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that 100%. So I'm not here to be an asshole, but so yeah, you have Curtis Wheeler's here. So, but Team Wheeler's here. Like I said, it's just what it is. Like I said, it's sad that these people lost their lives because of what happened during COVID. But a lot of other people died during COVID too. You know what I'm saying? Well, those people, but that's not the time for that. But let's keep that 100% here. I'm here to show our support to the victims. I only care about the victims. But I'm gonna call a spade that this guy right here, the guy in beret, Curtis Wheeler, will never be mayor. He has no chance of winning that race. No chance of winning. No chance. No chance. Today, I got to attend a vigil for Daniel Prude, who unfortunately lost his life through police violence in Crown Heights, my neck of the woods. So I got to go there for 2 o'clock. The
Arbini family. Arbini? Yes.
So let's go upstairs while we're here because they got voice of the senior years. They blocked me on Instagram, they blocked me on Facebook, they blocked me everywhere. But I mean, I'm here showing support, so just whatever. I'm just sad, but comments gonna be up. So let's keep. So like I said, it's sad that these people lost their lives to this stuff, but they lost their lives. But at the same time, you gotta call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? He will never be mayor. Sliwa will never be mayor. Curtis Sliwa will never ever be mayor. Let's keep that real. Let's call a spade a spade. He will never be mayor. But at the same time, rest in peace to everybody that lost their lives to this accident, to this situation. Somebody almost dropped their camera. That's a $5,000 camera, $20,000 camera, right? $20,000 camera that almost like broke, like that's a lot of money. That's worth more than me. Let's keep that real. But like I said, it's sad that he lost his life. Yeah, no. It wasn't an accident. It was on purpose. Everybody know vaccinations was on purpose, yo. Everybody know it was on purpose. So everybody know that shit was on purpose. So like I said before, guys, say I'm representing myself. I'm representing myself only. I'm not representing Andrew Cuomo. I'm not representing the Brooklyn Democratic Party. I'm not representing nobody. I'm representing Christopherleonjohnson. So if anything happens, it's all Christopherleonjohnson. But I care about when people lose their lives through anything. So I came out here, but everybody know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Cuomo. I'm voting for Andrew Cuomo. But at the same time, these people matter. Dead lives matter. Majority of the time, everybody knows this shit's all political. This is all political. Let's keep that real. Let's keep that. This is all political. All political. And you go see all these candidates running for mayor, like Jessica Ramos and Curtis Sliwa, who will never be mayor. I mean, Curtis Sliwa will never be mayor, and all these other bozos gonna be out here trying to step on Cuomo's toe to try to get some boo-boo points with these people here. Get some brownie points. I mean, my personal capacity. Yeah, forced vaccinations was not an accident. Yeah, it wasn't an accident. It was on purpose. The vaccine was on purpose. It was completely on purpose. So, it was completely on purpose. So these are all people that died. I mean, it's sad. I lost a few of my friends to COVID, but they wasn't in no nursing home. No, that's for sure. Third to BJ. Rest in peace to Damon Mack. Rest in peace to many other, man. Like, but I mean, but it's crazy. Yeah, this is the wall. This is the wall. So you have all these candidates. There's around people here. You have all these people coming out here today trying to stunt on this microphone, for political points, and that's all it's about. You think they give a shit about the seniors? No, they don't. They only care about trying to say, "Oh, we don't like Cuomo, don't rank Cuomo, and we hope to get some boo-boo points out of this shit." And that's all it's about. It's not about these victims. I care about the victims. I care about the victims. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm out here. I care about victims of gun violence. I care about victims of who lose their lives unexpectedly and early. So Ramos is here. Jessica Ramos here. Jessica Ramos is here. Like, she will never be mayor either. Like I said, all these candidates, all these people out here trying to stunt, like they will never be mayor. All these people out here trying to make sure that they don't get ranked number one, and Cuomo number one. Like, and ask Ramos, what about the prostitution that goes on in the district? What about the prostitution, Ramos? Jessica, what about the prostitution that go on in your district?
Where is Jessica?
Well, I know. What about the prostitutes that go in your district? I think that prostitutes, they matter too.
So between 1250.
I mean, dead prostitutes matter too. Just as these people are matter, but dead prostitutes too. Let's keep that real. I mean, I care about the victims. As much I care about the dead people, all the people that died of COVID. She should care about the dead prostitutes in her district. What about the trafficking women that are missing because of Roosevelt Avenue? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, she only cares about her. She only cares about not ranking Cuomo for mayor. That's all about. Don't rank Cuomo for mayor. That's all about. It's not about these victims. It's not about the victims here. It's all about not ranking Andrew Cuomo for mayor. You know what I mean? It's all about 2025. It's like Dream NYC. Don't rank Cuomo or Adams for mayor. This is ridiculous. No, like, look. I understand MAGA, but this ain't about MAGA right now, man. Fuck MAGA. This is about the victims here. Donald Trump is part of the issue too with the COVID, because he was the president of the United States. Donald Trump was the president of the United States. He could have easily ended COVID right there on day one. He could say, like, look, open all the stores up, open all the schools up, open everything up, and everybody get back to work. He let everybody just rock. So Trump was part of the problem. So like I said, it's bullshit. Yeah, Trump is just part of the problem. Trump was way part of the problem. He could say, open everything up. These people will be dead. So let's keep that 100% here. So fuck Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, like, it ain't about Palestine too. It's ain't about Palestine. Palestine is another situation. Palestine had rallies all day, every day, beating up cops, beating up Jews, all that type of shit. So like that's Palestine people. So fuck them. You know what I mean? This is about the people that are. Yeah, it's sad. There's a lot of people here. But like I said, Ramos, like, what the dead prostitutes? You know what I'm saying? They matter too. But it's on political. They don't score political points, right? Dead trans workers, dead trans sex workers, right? Where is that at? Dead trans workers, dead trans sex workers. Where are they at? You suck a dick. You get mad. Don't get mad at me because I'm here. I'm here. And you're not. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's so you have Speaker Adams coming, her people coming. Yeah, the speakers coming. No, she would never be mayor. Let's keep that real. She will never be mayor. That little witch will never be mayor. Let's keep that real.
I have a question to ask you. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I'm good. That witch will never be mayor. Let's keep that real. You know what I mean? Her people. I'm here first. I don't give a shit. I was here first, so they can suck the dick. They can't do anything to me. So yeah, I care about the victims. I care. So Adrian people's here. I got to attend a vigil for 2 o'clock for Daniel Prude. So, I mean, if I can't stay long. I gotta go to Daniel Prude's vigil. So that's why I care about more. I care about people that lose their life to police violence too. Let's keep that 100% here. Let's keep that real. I'm here in my personal capacity, and I'm here to support. I care about the victims. I don't care about these politicians. These politicians can get it anytime. Facts. They can all get it. And I think they all gonna get it. They all gonna get it for me. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about Cuomo. Y'all don't care about Cuomo. Y'all don't care about the victims. Y'all just care about making sure he don't get ranked as #1 for mayor. That's all it's about. But the truth of the matter of fact is that he's gonna be mayor, and there's nothing they can do about it. Cuomo, like, Curtisville has no chance. No chance. No chance at all. No chance. No chance. So yeah, today you have the casket here. You have the casket. You have the casket. You have it's sad, but how many people exploit? How many people exploit? We got the one into the audio. That's family right there. How many people make money off of people's deaths? A lot of people. How many people that makes money off of COVID and all that shit? It's sad. But this chick right here, Ramos, like she's no good. She's running for mayor. She don't give a shit about the victims. She don't care about Cuomo. She only care about not making sure Cuomo become mayor. It's all about. At the expense of these people here. It's sad. And it's these people, yeah, they deserve justice, but it's a lot of people that gotta go down. If they want Cuomo to go down, other people gotta go down too. So let's keep that a buck. It's sad, but these politicians like Ramos right there, she only care about making sure Andrew Cuomo become mayor. That's all that's about. This is not about these people, these family fucking grief. This is not about the grief. This is about making sure that this guy don't get ranked mayor. And it's sad. They're using this guy for political points. They're using this whole situation for political points. All it's about. All that shit's about, guys. All that shit's about. Completely fucking sad. Straight sad.
Oh man.
What's up, Scott? What's up, man? What's up, man? Really good, man.
Following you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Scott Stringer's right there. Shout out to Scott Stringer. Well, he might not get, but I'm gonna call. I know who I'm calling the fuck out today. I might call some people out. I don't know. So you have Zaron here. I gotta find this live stream shit. Hold on. Yeah, it's sad. Saw, what the hell is SawCon? I gotta look. Is that about Saw the show? I love Saw. Saw's the shit. Saw the 6. Shaw the 6. Yeah. Copy. You have Adrian's people here. Like I said, just some sad shit. You know what I'm saying? But they blocked, like, I don't give, like I said, they blocked me on Instagram, Facebook, because I'm supporting the homie, so I don't give a shit. Yeah, families here. What's up, their family? What's that?
Let me say hello to one.
He looks friendly. Yeah, I got it. Hello, sir.
Name is Omar.
Yeah, it's
Addresses at my sister's.
it's really sad. I'm here to show my support. So like, you have that.
You were there. Oh, she's doing okay. Good.
Yeah, I was like, just text me like, oh, how about you come out to like this? I'm not going to that. Don't get me wrong. I'm against certain shelters, but it's like, yo, like. Brad Pander, what's up, Pander? You know, this guy don't give a shit about the victims. So what's up, everybody? Christopherleonjohnson here. So you have Brad Pander right out. You have so you have Brad Pander is there. You have Brad Pander. Brad Pander's here. You know, this guy don't give a shit about. I'm gonna stay far because I'm not trying to address it. This guy Pander does not give a shit about the victims. He doesn't give a fuck about Cuomo. He only give a fuck about himself. Let's keep that real. This guy right here, Pander, only care about himself. Pander, you only care about yourself. Lander, you will never be mayor. Let's keep that real, mayor. Let's keep that real, Lander. Lander, you'll never be mayor. Let's keep that 100%. Let's keep that real. I'm not trying to, I know, yeah. I'm not trying to get arrested, bro. Yeah. So I'm chilling. Security like, yo, chill. I'm not trying to get locked up, bro. But you'll never be mayor, Lander. Never be mayor. You'll never be mayor, man. Never. You will never be mayor. Let's keep that real. Yeah.
To the other way. Yeah, it's just so.
Have a great day.
There's somebody from Bank.
Sorry about that.
Sergeant Bank.
So you have all these. So you have the frauds. These guys will never be mayor. Let's keep that real.
No, you're not.
These guys will never be mayor. Let's keep that fucking real.
Is that original guy on the left?
Yeah, I'm live, so like I said, I'm representing myself. I'm representing myself because I care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's close.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm the only son out of you're like, got me. She's Janice sent out that Twitter. That's John. I never do. Picture? I never do the. I don't. I don't do the color. They said it was 50 degrees. No, this was.
So yeah, there's a lot of people here. I mean,
Not taking any response.
So it's like all this is about is political bullshit. This is politics in a nutshell.
The house is pretty special.
I know, it's Arbini's house. I see that.
Or in front of the hearse, too.
Or the Hearst. A lot of.
Yeah, let's go over there. Come on, let's go over there.
Oh, this
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do it.
land of security here.
Talking some sense, Tom.
You're right.
Good.
This is all political brownie points bullshit right here. All political brownie points. All it's about in 2025. And by the way, security's following me. I know. Yeah, this guy right here behind me. That's okay. I'm not violent. I am not a violent guy. I'm here. I give a fuck. I care about the victims. Unlike this chick right here. Unlike Ramos, who only care about herself.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Jim Walden's here.
Good, how are you?
What's up, Jim? What's up? Good. Say to you, man. Yeah, Jim Walden's here, so like I said, it's
My daughter, Elise.
yeah, so Ron's here. This guy would not be mayor either. Let's keep that real. He would never be mayor either. So let's keep that 100% here. What up, man? I know, man. I came out the. Yeah. All right. I got you, man. All right, no problem. So yeah, I backed the plea, bro. Yeah. So what's up, man? So yeah, at the end of the day, it's beautiful. Yeah, I care about the victims. Like I said, I care about the victims. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. He would never be mayor. So I spoke to the guy who whispered me to his land security detail. He's like, yo, chill. I'm gonna chill. We gotta back the cops, bro. I back them. You know, I back the blue. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm representing myself. I'm not representing nobody. I'm representing myself today. It's just sad shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's sad. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. Because I actually give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, boys, with seniors here. Like I said, I'm here. I care. Let me flip this over. I care about the victims. I care about the victims, but at the same time, these politicians need to be checked for what they be doing. They just care about making sure Cuomo become mayor. Let's keep that fucking real.
My sister, everybody. The nameless Arbini. The nameless Arbini.
How you doing? Good to see you, man. How are you?
Yeah, I post. They asked somebody actually come out to cover their vigil, not as a rally for a shelter. I'm not going for that, man. Daniel Prue matters more than a shelter right now. I can't promote the dead. Jim Walden's here. Cuomo, all these people out here. Like I said, it's just...
I don't know who that is. Let me figure this out.
Yeah, the casket here, Curtis Sliwa, he would never be mayor. Curtis will never be mayor. Let's keep that real. He will never be mayor. He has no chance. Curtis is nothing but a zombie. Let's keep that. He just not a damn zombie. A zombie that only care about himself. He's a fucking zombie. That's what he is.
Oh my god, yeah. We're all over that.
Yeah, I know. Very well here.
Okay, so let's go around this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna chill out because that was the later detail. He said, "Yo, can you just?" I got you, bro. I back the cops, man. I don't hate the cops, bro. I'm like your boss. But yeah.
Oh, you have it. I thought you said you had it.
Test. Test.
What's up, Latasha? What's up, Latasha?
Excuse me, hey, guys, are you gonna? Bill. I should go a little
Tightening?
well, this can still blow up a little bit. Okay. You can say and spell your name and your title.
Hello, hello. My name is Peter Arbini. My name is Peter Arbini. That's Arbeny. I am the son of Norman Arbini, who lived on this block for 89 years and who passed from COVID. I would like to, there's so many people I have to say thank you to, but I will make it very brief. I would like to thank Donnie Tuckman, who is here for Cobbie Hill Nursing Home. Donnie is the one who told our family about the March 25th order, and he worked tirelessly to save people's lives, and I appreciate it. I would like to say thank you to one additional person, David Kramer, who has supported me in my quest for the last 5 years for truth and accountability. I also would like to thank the Empire Center, which is a think tank that has always answered our calls since the summer of 2020. And I just want to read a statement from our former governor that he said at a church in November of 2020. The key is to be strong and secure enough to admit your mistakes and admit your shortcomings. Don't get defensive. Denying the mistake only assures repeating the mistakes. That, I hope that Governor Cuomo wakes up tomorrow and he reminds himself that he said that at a church, because he has never admitted a mistake. He has never apologized. He has denied, dismissed, and he deflected the nursing home order that sent 9,000 COVID-positive patients into nursing homes. I would like to say that Governor Cuomo's team reached out to our lawyers over a month ago trying to broker a meeting with our family and our advocacy at his law firm. We respectfully declined because we don't think that we should be meeting in a law office. So we invited him to our father's house as we did 5 years ago when he was a governor, as we did 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and 1 year ago. He's been invited to our father's house for 5 years. He just reached out to us. Everyone, this is my father. I'm wearing a shirt. I would like to challenge Governor Cuomo to a debate. Answer our questions. You should not be afraid to answer questions for somebody that voted for you. We are advocates, we have research, and we have questions. And you need to apologize, but not publicly. You need to face us and apologize. If you're gonna lead, you have to lead for all of us. And that means even if we are critics of you. What you see here in front is the March 25th order. This is the most important question that I think that the press should ask and should continuously ask Governor Cuomo. He and his team always say that the March 25th order was following CDC guidelines. Everything that you see in yellow is not found on the CDC CMS guidelines. He always says, look at this report that says I was following it. Look at that report that says I was following it. Oh my God, a government report that made a mistake? Just show us what words or sentences we're taking from the CDC CMS guidelines. That's a simple question. He could highlight it with a pen. He could point it out to us. I'm telling you, he can't. Because look at the yellow. Thank you, Danny. Hello. Maybe that's a little better. It makes no sense to me that 5 years later, he is still trying to defend and deflect the nursing home order that sent 9,000 COVID patients in. The Governor Cuomo, people talk about him being a great manager. Well, he managed never to apologize. He managed to gaslight our families rather than address our losses. He managed not to follow the CDC CMS guidelines. He managed to lie about the nursing home deaths. He managed to never admit a mistake. He managed to make our lost loved ones a political issue. This is not about politics. As you can see from the people behind me, 10,000 Democrats that died in this state is not a Republican problem. He managed not to use the federal resources that were shipped here that he asked for. He managed to write a book as thousands died. And I will end at this note, and I'm going to be passing it over. He managed to make women feel uncomfortable in the safest buildings of this state. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron Kim. I am a member of the State Assembly.
Yo, they're kicking the e-bike guy off. He's a migrant. He's a migrant, yo. Like, he's a migrant. Treat the migrants right, man. Let's go. Treat the migrants right, man. Please, man. He's a migrant, man.
I said enough over the years of what went wrong in the state of New York. Today is really about accountability and not pointing fingers. There's a big difference between pointing fingers and blaming people and being accountable to your mistakes as a state lawmaker, as a state politician. So today, we are putting all politics aside, and my colleagues in government and candidates are joining together to proudly come together and hold the former governor not only accountable, but say, New York deserves better. New York deserves truth, and New York deserves closures for thousands of families who have been wronged, gaslit over the years. So we're going to continue to fight for truth and hold this governor accountable, hold the former governor accountable, and to make sure that we have right people rising to positions of power in the city and state of New York. With that, I'm going to MC today's event. We have a number of speakers, and this isn't in any order. This is based on people who RSVP'd first. So I'm going to bring, no disrespect to people who might have better titles than others, but by coincidence, the citywide controller, Brad Lander, RSVP first. I'm going to bring Brad out first.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Assembly Member. Thank you especially to the Arbini family, to Daniel and Peter, to the Newman family, to Cuomo Orphans, to Voices for Seniors, to everyone who is insisting that we use today, the 5-year anniversary of the March 25th order, to look into the faces of New Yorkers who lost their lives after being in nursing homes filled with COVID after the March 25th order. And for those of us that have gotten to know the Arbinis, Daniel and Peter, your dad is so proud of the fight that you have put up for accountability. He was an extraordinary member of this neighborhood, raising 3 generations of Arbinis with brothers and sisters and grandparents in that building, and being one of the mayors of the neighborhood, somebody who everybody looked to and knew they could count on, and you have been there for him. And we all are deeply, deeply grateful to you for it. The first time I stood out in the streets of Cobbie Hill to join the Arbinis was actually while he was still alive in the Cobbie Hill nursing home around the corner. And I also want to say thank you to Donnie Touchman, who was the CFO at the time, because we were out there for that 7 p.m. cheer when we came out each day to say thank you to the essential workers, to the nurses, to the healthcare workers who were trying to keep families alive at that time. And the fact that Donnie was trying to say at that time, can't we have COVID patients be at the Javits Center or on the U.S. Navy ship that was in the harbor so we could keep COVID out of Cobbie Hill Nursing Home and do our best to keep folks like Norman and others alive. And we were out here praying and cheering and supporting. Unfortunately, it was just a few months later that we had to be back again for the first time at a memorial wall. And it was October of 2020 when the Arbinis organized us together to stand in the streets again and start demanding accountability. Because by October, thousands of people had died in nursing homes after the March 25th order, and there was no accountability for it. There was already a book deal. There was already marking up the State Department of Health report to undercount and misrepresent the number of people who died in nursing homes after the March 25th order, but there was no accountability. There was no apology. There was no meeting with families. There was no looking into the eyes of victims. There was no accountability. And we have been out here again and again and again to demand it. And I have been honored every time to join with these brave family members demanding nothing more and nothing less than accountability. Today is not about partisan politics. People who lost their lives in nursing homes were Democrats and Republicans and independents and people who didn't care at all about politics, who just loved their families. And we're out here today with Democrats and Republicans and independents and people who don't care about politics and just want to honor their families. This is not about partisan politics, but it is about accountability. And it is not too much to ask Andrew Cuomo to meet with families. It is not too much to ask Andrew Cuomo to look into the eyes of people who died after the March 25th order. It is not too much to ask Andrew Cuomo to account for marking up the State Department of Health report to undercount their deaths, to diminish the value of their lives in order to protect his book deal. It is not too much to ask Andrew Cuomo to reflect and learn. It is not too much to ask Andrew Cuomo to apologize to these families. It is not too much to demand accountability, and that is why all of us are out here today. Thank you for holding up their memories. Thank you for helping us honor them. May their memories be for a blessing. Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear from the Voices for Seniors, Vivian.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexa Rivera. This is my sister, Vivian Zayas. I am the co-founder of Voices for Seniors. Better yet now, the voices of the forgotten. I stand before you today not just as a grieving daughter, but as the voice for thousands of families who lost their loved ones due to the reckless and deadly decisions of Andrew Cuomo. My sister and I started this advocacy group searching for answers, never realizing that the very governor our mother voted for was the one who facilitated her death. For 5 years, we have fought for accountability and justice, and now Cuomo wants a second chance. He wants to be the mayor of New York City, but we cannot allow that to happen. My mother's name is Ana Martinez. She was a strong, kind woman who dedicated her life to her family. She deserved dignity and protection, and a government that valued her life. Instead, she was abandoned by the very system that was supposed to protect her. When the pandemic struck, Andrew Cuomo issued a directive that forced COVID-positive patients into nursing homes, exposing the most vulnerable to a deadly virus. The results were catastrophic. Thousands of elderly New Yorkers, including my mother, lost their lives. And when the families like mine demanded answers, he covered up the true numbers, lied to the public, and chose political survival over accountability. Let's be clear, this was not just an accident. It was a failure of leadership, a betrayal of trust, and an avoidable tragedy. Cuomo's March 2020 order required nursing homes to accept COVID-positive patients despite the warnings from health experts. Over 15,000 elderly residents died as a result of his reckless decision. His administration deliberately unreported deaths, hiding the truth from families and the public. When questioned, he deflected, bullied, and dismissed our grief, showing zero remorse for the devastation he caused. And now this man, the same man who failed us, who put profits and politics over human lives, who refused to take responsibility, wants to run the city of New York. Leadership is about integrity, responsibility, and protecting the people you serve. Andrew Cuomo failed on all fronts. He's not a leader. He is a man who used his power to cover up his failures and silence grieving families. If he could not protect our most vulnerable citizens as governor, how can we trust him to run the city? If he refused to be accountable for thousands of preventable deaths, how can we believe he'll ever be accountable to New Yorkers? New York City deserves better. We need leaders who care about the truth, who listen to the people, who don't put their ambitions above human lives. I'm here today because my mother's voice was taken away, but mine wasn't, and I will not be silent. I ask every New Yorker to remember what happened, remember the lies, remember the cover-up, and the grief that he caused. We cannot let Cuomo rewrite history. We cannot let him fail us again. When you cast your vote, remember the thousands of families who are still waiting for justice. Say no to corruption, say no to deception, and say no to Andrew Cuomo. Thank you.
Hi, how are you, everyone? Thank you for coming. We are Voices for Seniors. We stand with the Arbini family. We've been fighting alongside them for almost 5 years. This was my mother before Cuomo, and this is my mother after Cuomo. As I stand here today, I hold something more precious than any words can describe. This small urn contains her ashes, a woman whose life was taken not by disease, but by decision. A decision made by a man who once told us all our mothers were not expendable. And yet here we are. My mother is not expendable. And yet this urn holds not just my mother, but it holds the pain of over 15,000 families whose loved ones, who lost their loved ones due to the policy that made no sense and exposed Cuomo's lack of leadership. My mother's not expendable. Those were the words of Andrew Cuomo's own words on March 24th. Yet he stood before the cameras and declared that my mother's not expendable, your mother's not expendable, and he said that he was not going to put a dollar figure on human life. And yet, just one day later, he signed the March 25th order that did exactly that. He forced COVID-positive patients into the nursing homes and endangered the most vulnerable. 2 days after that, on March 27th, he released 1,100 parole violators from prison, citing concerns over inmates contracting COVID-19. So I asked Governor Cuomo, why were convicted criminals given more consideration than our parents and our grandparents? Why was your mother shielded while ours was exposed? Why were inmates granted protection while nursing home residents were given a death sentence? Something just doesn't seem right here. Amy Barra, a physician and Democratic congressman, said, I can't understand why anyone would put a COVID-positive patient into a nursing home. That is just medical malpractice. And yet, that's exactly what Cuomo did. He said the right words, but his leadership is not about words, and it's not what you say on press conferences. He lied. And Cuomo once said that if the buck stops with him and that we should blame him. Well, today we're here to hold him to his words, because leadership is not about press conferences, it's about holding you accountable. You are responsible. You cannot resign, you cannot dodge questions, you cannot count on your allies to rewrite history. Today, as we approach the 5th anniversary of the deadly order, we want more answers and more accountability. We also call on the current DOJ to investigate this devastation. This fight isn't over. My mother was a Latina who lived in Brooklyn and was a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat. I'm sure she voted for Andrew Cuomo because that's exactly what my family did. However, I want to tell all Latinos that my mother, mi mamá, no era irresponsible. And we want to let the Hispanic community know that they should also be enraged, because although my mother was Hispanic, she had no voice except for me, okay? So my mother passed away, but I'm here para hablar por no solamente los americanos, pero también por los hispanos. Nuestros padres murieron y ellos no son desechables. Gracias.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you, Voices for Seniors. Next, we're going to bring up Jim Walden.
Good morning, everyone. The truth of the matter is, when I was asked to come here, I was asked from the perspective of a lawyer. And my voice couldn't possibly be as powerful as the voices that you're going to hear today from the victims, from the Arbini family, the Dean and Newman families, Voices for Seniors. They speak for the victims, and they speak loud and clear. And I'm not here to talk about Andrew Cuomo. I'm here to talk about what we can do going forward, because it is not too late to get justice and accountability, and that's where a lawyer comes in. And so my plea is to the Hochul administration, because the report that she convened was not the report that these victims' families deserve. They deserve full transparency of the one central question that remains unanswered, although frankly, we all know the answer ourselves, which is, where did politics trump policy? Period. Where is it in the process of putting seniors back into nursing homes instead of in federally funded facilities that were up and ready to go? Where did politics trump policy? We need to know those answers, and the report done by the Olson Group did not answer those questions. And in fact, when the victims' families asked to meet with the investigators, what they found was that the state of New York, your government, shielded the investigators behind a non-disclosure agreement. And that is just wrong. That's not transparency, and that's not accountability. Certainly, those investigators looked into where political considerations trumped good health policy. They have the evidence, they have the answers, and they didn't release it. I'm here, not as a mayoral candidate, but as a lawyer. We're going to find out the answers one way or the other. And so I ask Governor Hochul, please make it easy on us now. Give us the evidence now. Give us transparency now. Have your investigators get waived from the non-disclosure agreement and do the right thing by meeting with the families. And if you do not, then we will come after you. Thank you.
Next, we're going to bring up Arbini.
5 years ago today, my daughter sat closer, as I was telling everybody else. 5 years ago today, I was sitting on my stoop with my daughter on my lap, giving an interview to the Associated Press about this. And at that time, nobody understood what was happening. The reporters didn't understand. We had a vague recollection. But I digress. My daughter is 5th generation on this block. We've lived on this block for 5 generations. My father sat right there on that stoop. He's sitting there now, day in and day out, loving everybody who came and walked down this block, who had to park a car and didn't know how to parallel park. He was just a loving man. He got sick. He was 89 years old, very strong, very sharp mind, still driving safely. And he got sick. So he went for rehab around the corner. Donnie Tuckman, who's here, I'm very thankful for his rehab center, did everything they could. But I want to go back even further. Back in the 70s and 80s, my mother was on the board of that hospital. These big buildings behind you was a hospital, Long Island College Hospital. Former Governor Mario Cuomo was the general counsel of that hospital. His daughter got her radiology degree at that hospital where I worked. My family, my mother was close with him and loved him, and as did everybody around here. Our history goes way back, and it's so interconnected. And now, 50 years later, to see how our family has been gaslit by our former governor, but the later Andrew Cuomo, is a shame. All we want is the truth and justice. And we want it not just for Daddy. We don't want it just for our cousin, Sammy, who's on the board, my Uncle Bobby. We had 4 family members die in 1 week of COVID. 3 were in nursing homes. We want it for everybody. All 15,000 of those victims were our loved ones. They were our most cherished people, our elders. We want justice for them. We want the truth. We want government to step up and help us get there so that we don't have to be sad anymore. We don't have to hide in our hearts what happened in March, April, May, June of 2020. Remember, no funerals. You couldn't see a loved one. Would you have maximum 10 people? My brother didn't even come when we buried my father. We couldn't do it. We had I had 4 kids. There was 6 of us, and my other siblings. We understood it, but we don't understand lying. We don't understand hiding the truth. And so we want justice for our next generation so this never happens again. And for all those that have been so devastated, thank you.
Next, we have Assemblymember Zohran Mondani.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember Kim. Thank you to the Arbini family. Thank you to everyone who is here to honor the lives of the 15,000 New Yorkers who lost their lives. And as we make it clear that these are not just numbers, these are not just names, these are New Yorkers in each of whom was an entire universe. And we cannot turn the page back to March 25th of 2020. But we can ask ourselves, how can these families heal? How can we move forward? How can we ensure that these mistakes are not repeated? And it always brings us back to the importance of honesty, of accountability, and of an apology. These are the basic requirements of leadership. And yet, somehow, for our former governor, they are things beyond that which he is willing to do. And as we think about these New Yorkers, and as we think about the prospect of another pandemic in the future, these qualities of leadership become all the more important. And as has been said by the Arbini family, this is not about politics. This is about leadership. This is about New York City. This is about ensuring we can honor those that we have lost and protect those that we still have. And yet, the choice that is being given to New Yorkers is still including a man, Andrew Cuomo, for whom himself and his mythology is more important than anything these families are asking. And I call on our former governor to answer the calls of these families, to apologize for the mistakes that he made in the pandemic, and to show himself worthy of the same accountability that we want every single leader to be open to. So thank you so much to the families. Thank you for ensuring that we do not forget that which was done close to 5 years ago, and for continuing to honor all of us with the stories of your family, to ensure that they do not remain simply on this wall, but they start to become a part of our lives as well. Thank you.
Next, we have Janice Dean.
Today I am a Newman. It's my married name. I wrote a letter to my in-laws. Both of them died of COVID-19 in separate elder care facilities within 2.5 weeks of one another. Dear Mickey and Dee, I can't believe it's been almost 5 years since we lost you. And I have to be honest, I wish time was healing our pain, but sometimes the anger and grief is overwhelming. As this anniversary approaches, I think about the phone call from the nursing home telling us that Mickey wasn't feeling well. And then the absolute shock and disbelief that 3 hours later you had died of COVID-19. Meanwhile, we were all locked down and told to stay away from the virus. We had no idea thousands of COVID-positive patients were being forced into nursing homes and prohibited from being tested. Your son, Sean, wanted to give Mickey an FDNY send-off to honor his service as a fireman and a member of the U.S. Air Force. So he called his friend and fellow firefighter, Mark, to meet him in front of the nursing home. And when the worker brought his body down on a gurney, they gave him one last salute. Frankie, their childhood friend who owned a funeral home in Staten Island, offered to take Mickey until we figured out what to do. People forget that not only could we not come see you, we could not have last rites, we could not have wakes or funerals at the time. Those important rituals that help you get through the grieving process were forbidden. D, Sean misses talking to you every single day. The hardest thing he's ever done was tell you over the phone that your husband of nearly 60 years was gone. The day he brought flowers to you, while not being able to hug or comfort you as you cried 6 feet away, is beyond tragic. I'll never forget the last time we spoke, as you were losing your voice and had trouble breathing. You made me promise to write your name on the Easter gifts for the kids. I prayed that there was someone kind there with you when you took your last breath and you joined your husband in heaven. They would not let your son in to see you after you died. He had to look through a window in the hospital to say goodbye. Our boys miss you too. Sometimes out of the blue, Theodore will say, I miss Grandma Dee and Grandpa Mickey, and I feel sadness and rage at the same time because you should still be here with us. Every birthday, Christmas, holiday, special event, we think of you. How you never forgot to send a card with a bit of cash for your grandsons. Those family trips to Brooklyn as we climbed the steep 4 flights of stairs to see you. It was worth it every time for the boys to see the new toys and their favorite snacks. The hardest part of all of this is that many people have forgotten. So many questions have never been answered. We've been fighting hard for so many years, but it's difficult to keep going when many of our elected officials do not want to uncover the truth. You would be so proud of your daughter, Donna, who has been by my side demanding truth and justice, and your son, Sean, who is also making sure in his own quiet way that this never happens to another family. When people ask what I remember most about you, I tell them that they were the parents of the greatest person I've ever met, the father of my children, and the best husband I could ever dream of having. We miss you, Mickey and Dee. I take comfort knowing that you're together in heaven and seeing all these families behind me today, remembering their parents and their grandparents. It gives me some hope knowing that we're not alone in this fight and that the angels are by our side. We love you. Janice.
Next, we have Scott Stringer.
To the Arbini family and to all of the families who are here today, I want to just talk for 1 second about somebody I love very much, Arlene Stringer Cuevas, my mom. Last time I saw her was at her house with my stepfather and my 2 little boys. I remember thinking to myself when she moved to the piano with my son Miles, where he was banging on the piano and watched the 2 of them. I said to myself back then, this is a wonderful family. I have a mom who is watching out and listening and loving her grandchildren. I actually thought it was going to be a time that would just live forever. And that's when we think about our parents and grandparents. We never think about the end, we always think about beginnings. And then my mom was taken away in a hospital where I could never see her, could never bury her. And my link to her in her closing hours were the frontline workers in the hospital, the doctors and the nurses who would call me up and tell me it will not be long. I cannot believe at all that Andrew Cuomo, in the midst of a pandemic, when parents and grandparents were dying in nursing homes, when people were dying in hospitals, when we didn't have the answers and we didn't know what to do, that this guy and his staff was negotiating and writing a $5 million book deal about our families. Think about how gross that is. Think about how terrible that is. That this guy had the nerve to try to cash in at our expense.
Disgusting.
Isn't it disgusting? Yes. Aren't you angry? Yes. Well, let me tell you something today. And I know this is not a political day, but I've been around politics and elections a long time. Andrew Cuomo will not be the next mayor of New York City. Because he will not come down from the mountain and confront all of you. He's scared, he's a coward, and I just want to say to him, every time he goes to the bank and withdraws his money for the week and pays his $8,000 a month rent on the Upper East Side, he is doing it with the money that should have been for the victims of COVID. That is blood money, Andrew Cuomo, and you should withdraw it and return it and come here and apologize to the people of New York City. Thank you very much.
We'll be joined by Public Advocate Jumaane Williams.
Peace and blessing, love and light to everyone. Thank you to Arbinis and all the families who were here. Thanks to Arbinis and all the families who were here. Thank you to Assemblymember Kim, who's had the courage as well to be pushing this for a very, very long time. It's very sad to have to be here for so many reasons. One is, I think as a city, we had an opportunity to open the city back up without some of the same things that caused a lot of folks to die to begin with, including inequities in medicine, inequities in a lot of places. That didn't happen. But also because we have so many leaders, and I'm really tired of executives who seem to be allergic to the truth. And they seem to be allergic to honest conversation. They seem to be allergic to simply saying I made a mistake, incapable of self-reflection, incapable of saying I'm sorry, not understanding how that acknowledgement can just help people even heal. And I'm here with these families and seeing all these families and just remembering these folks actually lived, they existed, they loved, they breathed, and they're no longer here. And part of that is because of mistakes that were made. And if you're a leader and you can't acknowledge mistakes, that's not real leadership. My own family was mad at me during the pandemic because I was calling out the former governor during that time. And they would say he's making me feel comfortable during the press conferences. And I would say, in between those press conferences, there are decisions that are being made that are harming New Yorkers. I wish I was wrong. I would have preferred my family to be correct. And even, you know, we want to talk about not politicizing, but it's not the families that politicize it. It's putting a book deal over the truth that politicizes it. It's decisions that were made on behalf of one person on the backs of the rest of us that politicize it. Calling it out is not the politicization. Trying to get the truth is not politicization. Trying to get someone who's running for mayor to say, I made a mistake and here's what I would do different is not politicization. It is responsibility to point these things out on the behalf of the people who can no longer point it out themselves. And so I'm happy for these families to be here. I gotta tell you, I was one even when the former governor was trying to cut Medicaid in the middle of the pandemic, even when he got rid of all the psychiatric hospitals, even when he had the summer of hell and tried to pretend that MTA wasn't his. The one thing I thought that might have been truth were, at least he's a good manager. But the pandemic proved that not to be true. We have made decisions that we didn't have to make, and people died because of it. And now we have families who are mourning. That is very real. And people have seemed to be forgotten who this person is, and we have to remember that a man who cannot even apologize, who cannot self-reflect, will do damage again. It's really important to remember that. And I'm happy that there's some calls for the governor now to do some things to make this family home. I hope that's done as well. But one thing we have to know is we can't forget these families. We can't forget why we're even here. Someone made decisions. This didn't happen in a vacuum. Mistakes were made. And the person who did that wants to be an executive again. That's a problem. That is just a problem. And I want to be clear about that. In honor of these families, it's 15,000 and so many more. We deserved honesty, and we should get it. We deserve the truth. We deserve someone to say, at minimum, I'm sorry. At minimum. So thank you all so much for being here, for making sure that we don't forget, for making sure someone is leading from the front. As you know, I have always been here, and I will be here, and I hope folks see the cross-section of ideology of politics that are here, agreeing about what's being said today. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Next, I'm going to bring a family victim, Donna, to the podium, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's hard to believe that 5 years have passed since Andrew Cuomo signed the deadly directive on March 25th. Yet the pain of that decision feels just as fresh today. For reasons that remain unclear, Mr. Cuomo made the heart-wrenching choice to send COVID-positive patients from hospitals into nursing homes, a decision that led to the deaths of thousands, including my own parents. He made this choice despite having other resources available, like the Javits Center, the U.S. Navy Comfort Ship, and numerous off-site facilities at hospitals across the state, but he chose to ignore them. We didn't even learn about this decision until after we thought our loved ones were safe in the care of their facilities. Cuomo gave these nursing homes no means of protecting those inside. At my father's facility, staff had to use garbage bags as protective gear. To make matters worse, while families and frontline workers were left to fend for themselves, Cuomo prioritized COVID tests for his friends and family over the very essential workers in nursing homes and assisted living facilities who were putting their lives at risk every day. And if you can believe it, while our loved ones were dying alone, he was busy writing a book titled Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic, a book he was working on as families were robbed of the opportunity to say goodbye, hold proper funerals, or even comfort each other in our grief. This book should have never been written, and if it had to be, it should have been called What Not to Do. But it doesn't stop there. Cuomo also denied families access to their loved ones for over a year. They watched helplessly as their family members starved, deteriorated, and suffered without proper care. Rather than testing families to allow visits, Cuomo's brilliant idea was to test thousands of Buffalo Bills fans so they could attend a football game. To this day, I can't make sense out of these actions. And let's be clear, Cuomo didn't just cause the deaths of over 15,000 seniors. He devastated our entire city. The restaurant industry was destroyed, small businesses crumbled, hair and nail salons were lucky if they survived, and yet liquor stores stayed open while places of worship were closed. And worst of all, the harm he inflicted on our children, mask mandates, Zoom classes, no sports, countless other unforgivable decisions. 5 years later, we're still left without answers, without accountability, without any assurance that something like this will never happen again. It is beyond appalling that the man who once callously said, "Who cares, they died," and is responsible for all of I said above, thinks he's fit to run for mayor of New York City. No, thank you. And now, with that said, I'm proud to introduce someone who has never forgotten what Andrew Cuomo did to our seniors, a man who's been an unwavering ally to families like mine. My family and I are deeply grateful for his commitment to justice. Please join me in welcoming, in my opinion, the next mayor of New York City, Curtis Sliwa.
Thank you. Look at the extraordinary array of people behind me. Could any other issue bring us all together with the differences that we have? No. It's the death, the unneeded death of all these folks who are trusting the governor to do the right thing. I must tell you that I remember that day of March 26th when I first heard of the executive order that had been issued on March 25th. To this day, this degenerate liar, Andrew Cuomo, because that's what he's been every step of the way, claims he had no idea what was in his executive order, signed, sealed, and delivered by the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo. I happened to be in the studios at WABC. I was listening to a national broadcast. A woman who was here today, Dr. Elaine, called in from the hot zone at that time, White Plains in Westchester. She was the operator of a long-term nursing home care unit. She was on with Mark Levin. It was a national program. She said he is taking these COVID patients and putting them into long-term nursing home care units right from hospital. My analysis was she must be making this up. This can't be. This is signing their death warrant. She said, I will read from the executive order. It wasn't what she was telling us, third person, Dr. Elaine. It's what was in his executive order. That night, March 26th, was my birthday. My wife, Nancy, who's here today, was going to take me out. And I told her, we're not going out. We're sitting down and we're doing a deep dive on this. I can't believe this. I can't believe that a man would actually sign off on a death warrant for so many elderly in nursing home care units. And the next day when I came on the broadcast, I used what Dr. Elaine had said.
So I'm leaving here now. I'm going to the Daniel Proof vigil. I'm live, so they can't say, oh, I disrupted the rally, I did all this stupid shit, da-da-da. But yeah, like I said, none of these guys have no chance to become mayor. No chance to become mayor at all. This is another political grandstanding bullshit. And so I'm live. I'm really live, guys. I'm live. And I'm heading home. I gotta head back to Crown Heights, 1090 Eastern Parkway for the Daniel Proof vigil. So I don't know who's gonna record the other bozos, or Adrian Adams and Michael Blake and Ramos and all those fools that have no chance to become mayor. No chance to become mayor. Those fools who have no chance to become mayor. But I'm not gonna be there. I gotta go to this vigil for 2 o'clock. So I gotta walk to the train station, get on the train, and head to Eastern Parkway, 1090 Eastern Parkway for the Daniel Proof vigil. So I don't have time for that. So I'm done. I was here since like 12 o'clock to show our support. And that's all I gotta say. So they just, Zell and my Reeve got there too. He was just already there. So I'm done. I'm headed to the vigil. And so they can't say anything. So I'm about to walk. I'm keeping this live stream on so they can't say, oh, Chris, you was there, you got at them, da, da, da. I'm getting on the train. I got things to do. So rest in peace to all the people that died during COVID. Rest in peace to those victims. But I'm voting for Andrew Cuomo for mayor. Andrew's gonna be mayor. He's gonna be mayor of New York City. So he's gonna be mayor. Andrew's gonna be mayor, and nothing they could do about it. All that was today was political grandstand bullshit. So let's keep that a buck. Political grandstand bullshit. So I'm walking over to the 4 train for Borough Hall and get on that train. But I'm gonna keep this live stream on so they can't say that, oh, Chris did this, Chris did that. So yeah, walking with this live stream on so they can't say, oh, Chris did this, Chris did that, Cuomo said that, Cuomo did this. I mean, like I said before, my first part of the video, I'm in my personal capacity today. I was in my personal capacity, and I was in my personal capacity, not representing the Brooklyn Democratic Party, not representing the Andrew Cuomo campaign, nothing like that. I'm not part of none of that. During this, I pay for myself, and I spoke to the guard, Brad Landers detail. He's like, yo, I said, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I said, I care about the victims. I'm not that fucking low to ever be that low and disrupt the vigil for the dead for boo-boo points or for clout. I care about the victims because it might be me. It might be me. You know what I'm saying? I might be dead on the street. I might get hit by a car. So walking up to Atlantic Avenue right now. So you see here, so they can't say shit. I got to head to Daniel Prue Vigil. Daniel Prue. Rest in peace to Daniel Prue, man. It's Vigil today, so I'm here for that. So it's 1:31 right now. Look at the time, 1:31. 1:31, look at the time. So see, you can't say shit. And earlier I saw Whitney Tilson, so. So like I said, it's what it is, you know what I mean? I gotta walk up to the train station now, so they can't say shit. Like I said, none of them have no chance to become mayor. None of them have no chance to become mayor. None of them. None. Ramos, Myrie, Zoran, Lander, Stringer, Curtis Sliwa, little boat, redhead Bozo, Adrian Adams, none of them have a chance to become mayor. Only Cuomo has a chance. So let's keep that real. Woo! So I'm about to log off here. Go live. You know what I mean? So I'm live stream on this. So you see here. Thanks for Tasha. Thanks for Peace Out. Pepsi Cow. So yeah, see? Woo, I gotta walk to the A train. Not A train, the 4 train or 3 train. Whatever trains come going next, because I gotta get on that shit. Just I gotta get on those trains because I gotta take the Daniel Prue Vigil. So rest in peace to Daniel Prue. So, fast walker, guys. So, out here showing support. I really care. You know what I'm saying? I'm supporting Cuomo. Support Andrew Cuomo for mayor. Keep that real.
Yeah, I know. Like, I can tell. Yeah. I was trying.
Yeah. See? It's life. Sad, yo. Really, really sad. Yeah, I gotta get on this train. It's fucking nice out. Whew. So, take care, NYC. Later. Peace out. So, wow. So I'm about to log off. 6 minutes, the train's coming. Time now is currently 1:36, so it's 1:42. And take care, all right? Later.